Hi folks, Chris Voss here from thechrisvossshow.com, thechrisvossshow.com. Sitting here with what's before you is the Samsung Galaxy S3. It's very popular. This is an AT&T model. AT&T provided us with the phone, so thank you AT&T. Be sure to check out their website and also the pound tag AT&T mobile review. So this is a beautiful Galaxy Samsung S3. Been very happy with the product. I really enjoy it. It's probably, in my feeling and opinion, one of the best Android phones that's on the market. Of course, it's the newest and latest, greatest thing. What we're going to do today is we're just going to get an in-depth look into the camera works of the Samsung S3. So let's take a look at some of the different features you can do here. Now, I think the camera is one of the most impressive also of any of the Androids so far. Has more menu options, etc., etc. We'll talk about that and get into all the different features of it. So one of the things you have, as you can see here, you've got focusing that you can take and push on to get what you want. It will go green when it's focused, or how you set up the stabilizer. It will show red if you are not stabilized or it's not getting the right focus it feels. So what's really cool is it will usually wait till the green happens, to where the motion quits moving, and it will take and shoot even after you've commanded it to shoot. You can switch between, on the right here, between camera, still photos, and video. Now, one of the beautiful things about video that's really cool with the Samsung S3 is with video, you can start the video in this case, and you can see the little icon here with the camera. You can take pictures as you're recording video. So this works out really, really well, and the pictures move very fast with the Samsung. So you can, so if you're recording your child's game or something of that nature, and you want to take still photos to send to grandma, you can take and do that on the fly as you're working and everything else. So you can switch between those modes. And you can see here we're back into camera mode. Now with these modes, there's one thing I wanted to show you. Oh, this bottom box here will go into the pictures album section. Keep in mind I'm working with a sound boom and a big bar in my face, so if I seem a little clumsy at doing this, I'm working through a few different elements, including the screen. So for some reason there is a space that it takes when you move from the camera to the album. It's kind of weird. I'm not sure why it does that, but you can see here you can easily flip through the photos and adjust to see what you want to take and do. You can see here the menu. One thing that was interesting is, well, let's talk about this here for a second. In the menus, you've got several different things you can do with this. You can do face tag, copy to clipboard, rotate left, rotate right, crop the picture, set picture. You can do a buddy photo share or print. Now the buddy photo share, I believe, to my understanding, only works with other Galaxy units, that you can send pictures back and forth. I tried getting it to work with some of my other phones that were not Samsung, and of course they wouldn't recognize each other. So you've got the menu that's there. One thing that was interesting with the Samsung that we were kind of surprised by is they actually give a separate menu. They actually give you a separate menu to where you can adjust the video brightness on playback. We were wondering when we first got the device, when it came out of the box, it was very non-intuitive, why we'd set the video brightness very high, or I'm sorry, the screen brightness very high on the Samsung Galaxy, but we were getting the video look like the video was running at half the brightness that we'd set it to, and it looked like it was always going into standby mode. So we found out through the long way around that you can adjust the video brightness separately with the Samsung Galaxy S3, and it ignores whatever settings you put in for your screen brightness. Works completely separate. The other element is also the browser is the same way. You can adjust the browser separately. It sounds like a good idea, I suppose, at the time, but I don't know. We had a hard time figuring that out, and I don't know if it's that great of a feature. You can see here some of the other different things that we can do in video: scan for nearby devices, share via, chapter preview, trim. You can send stuff via Bluetooth, video auto off, number of settings, and other details that we can take and do here. Looks like this is going to give us the details of the format of the video that we took and did. So let's see if we can't get out of this. And of course, you can see the menu that's in there. at the top where you can take a look at you can take a look at your share. You can copy this to clipboard or send a message. Actually, this would be sending a message to to people, text messaging, MMS. You've got the play button, which will show you different adjustments you can take and do: flow, fade, zoom in on faces, all sorts of different stuff you can do. Music, you can add music. You can use some of your music players. You can even incorporate this with Google Music and maybe stuff that you left in Box. Looks like Box is included in here. You can adjust the speed, which is really cool. You can make some adjustments there. So let's see. You can also delete, of course, which is something you can take and want to do. Let's see if we've got the MMS. I haven't tried the MMS yet. It looks like it just puts it right into the MMS system so that you can take and forward stuff. So let's get back to the camera itself. We're going to go back to camera mode. There's a lot of stuff you can do here. Of course, you can flip this back and forth. You can take and going from front to back camera. The back camera is 8 megapixels and will record at 30 frames per second, 1080p. The front camera is 1.9 megapixel, and I think that's probably one of the highest you're going to get just about anywhere on a front-facing camera right now. And let's see, we've got the thing where you can turn on and off flash and auto flash settings. Here we have, you can do several different modes: single shot, burst mode, HDR, smile shot, beauty, panorama, cartoon, share shot, buddy, photo share, which is part of the Samsung Galaxy experience of sharing with other Samsung phones. Now, one thing we did find with the Samsung Galaxy that I was a little disappointed in was it doesn't deal well with flash in dark situations. It doesn't deal well with low light situations. But we did find that using HDR was a way to overcome some of the low light situations that we were in, and we actually got really good photos in low light situations using HDR. We didn't really get too much into some of the other shoots and customizations you can take and do. Of course, you can set the ISO settings. You can do a lot of adjustments that you could with an SLR camera to offset some of the different challenges. So just out of the box, we had trouble with those elements. If you can figure out how to beat them by adjusting the settings with the camera, all the more power to you. We've got autofocus here. We've got macro shooting, face detection. Macro is really cool because you get stuff really close up, and you get those pictures of like little bugs or little flowers close up that look really cool. All this stuff, usually with, like for example, with the iPhone, you would have to buy different apps, buy different camera lenses, etc., etc. It's all built in here with the Galaxy Samsung S3. So now we're going to look at as more settings. You can set this to self-portrait, where you can take pictures. Hey, there we are. Hello. All right, and let's see what else we got. We've got flash, where you can adjust that. Now, shooting mode is pretty interesting. It's got the same stuff that we talked about here, where you can do that. You've got scene mode that will take you into portrait, landscape, night, sports shooting, beach, snow, sunset, firework. Boy, a whole different bunch of stuff. ISO-wise, this is really nice. Instead of just having an ISO setting where you're stuck with, the digits, you can actually slide this back and forth. You can get your ISO adjusted exactly the way you wanted, and that will give you better exposure. You can have a focus mode of autofocus and macro face detection. Looks like we covered that. You can have a timer where you can set different timer settings. Effects wise, you can see here you can even add sepia, black and white. You can adjust the resolution of the phone all the way from 8 megapixels down to 0.3 megapixels, I should say. You can adjust your white balance, and this will help with some of your background, your colors and how they come in and out. Here's some of your ISO settings, just like you could do with an SLR camera, going from anywhere from 100 to 800 ISO. What else do we have here? We've got metering, where you can meter spots, matrix, center weighted. You've got anti-shake, you can turn on and off. Auto contrast, on and off, you can adjust. We've got guidelines, you can turn on to give you some guidelines on the screen. Image quality, you can adjust: superfine, fine, normal, and the quality that's there. It's amazing what this thing will do, huh? GPS tag, you've got on and off for GPS. For tagging of your photos. The shutter sound, you can have it on or off. I suppose maybe if you want to do some stealth stuff, you can do that, and also you can reset the settings back to what they were originally so you can do them. Now, one of the cool things about the phone is it will shoot very fast. Let's see if we can't do that now. Alright, so you can see it moves very fast. One thing we want to take and do is we want to go into see if we can find the settings we're looking for. We're looking for burst shot, and we'll find them in shooting mode, and we'll find it up here. There we go. Now with burst shot, you have two different options. It will shoot up to 20 different things really quickly, or you can have it set so that you can figure out what the best shot is, and it'll just shoot 8. So you can see here we're going to move really fast when we click this. Pretty freaking amazing, huh? Very fast, processes the shots. And of course, from that motion, you would probably use this for like a sports thing and all that good stuff. Maybe if you're like me, you have a dog that tends to move and doesn't sit still and looks away. This can be better with the best shot, where you can have up to 8 shots. And you can take the shots very quickly, and then what's really nice is you can go through them very easily, process them, and when you go through them, it will take and allow you to keep the ones that you want. So if I want to keep this one, I can go ahead and keep that one, and then when I'm done, it will go ahead and save that picture, but it will delete the rest when I'm on the best shot mode. So really smart camera in what it does, and you can see it's got incredible speed to it when it does its stuff. Going into video mode, we've got a few different other menu items here on the left, which are really nice. We've got the limit for MMS. You know, if you want to send an MMS to your friends, but you want to keep it nice, short, and sweet so that it doesn't bog down their system, or there's some limits, I think, with some systems they have in what they can send. This is a way you can adjust and customize that. You've got, of course, your flash on and off, which would be your camera thing. And going back into settings, you're going to have much of the same sort of stuff that you would have with the other thing. Of course, you can adjust video quality here, which is about the same way. You got the anti-shake, the white balance. Effects-wise, you're looking at the same effects. Timer, recording mode. Okay, now one final thing we want to take and cover. What's really cool about the Samsung S3 is you can have up to 4 times zoom, both in video and camera mode. So you basically take your thumb, squeeze it. You can see here we can adjust the setting up and down and basically focus in on whatever we want to take and do by going in and out, etc., etc. You can do the same much with the video portion of it. So very cool camera. We're very impressed with the Samsung Galaxy S3. You can of course tweak it to get you some really good night pictures and low light pictures. You just need to adjust the settings appropriately, and if you get really good at it, you can take some incredible pictures. We do like the 8 megapixel camera. It does well. The front facing camera does well. Great for Google Hangouts, all that good stuff. So be sure to swing by AT&T, pick yourself up a Samsung Galaxy S3 or other providers that you might have. AT&T, of course, thank you for providing this to us so that we could do this review. And be sure to check out some of the giveaways we're doing on the chrisvossshow.com. Be sure to check back. We're going to go through some other in-depth steps of the Samsung and talk about some of the other cool things you can do with it on other YouTube videos. Thanks for coming by.